Yeah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. All praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh. Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Rakah Kadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well, the bishops, the elders of Connecticut. Salutations to the Akim and the Four Winds, preaching the truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, Shalom. To the Israelite foreigners whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel and have come back to the fold through your father. To you sisters, you Akwathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence. This your brother Aram Yahawada with the lesson. And yeah, so we back at it again, which we already knew was coming, because this is the thing that has to be done, right? But let's go ahead and
move closer to a pandemic treaty that would hand sovereign power to the unelected World Health Organization. This is the treaty we've been discussing and warning about. It will give the WHO the
right, unelected, right? Because any other time this thing's about democracy, you have to vote, you have to do this, do that. But they know they're not going to get a solidary vote on either side, whether Democrat, Republican. You're not even going to have a fight over this and that, over what's going on. You're not going to have a good vote. So they just want to just hand the power over to them, right?
Power to supersede your country's own government and their laws about pandemic rules and more. It is a huge power grab. We've seen these screenshots and we're going to review them in a minute. This will allow the WHO to dictate what is a pandemic, who has to lock down, vaccines, masking. It will also let them track and monitor you, define infodemics if you're sharing things it thinks could be dangerous. Even they have said, we've shown you this, even true concepts that are being shared out online that they could think are dangerous, they would call that an infodemic, and they'd have the power to censor and monitor you. We've shown you this, okay? You could rewind the tape. Just search it on any platform that you're watching us with WHO. It's there, but I'm going to show you a few more in a second. Now, first...
Right, because the thing with this is what the, I mean, the best... the best way to get the true info is the Bible, right? Yeah, so basically all those things is what the Bible has been telling us these things, but we were supposed to just have the wisdom, so when we do see it, we know what we're looking for. So this is a predictive programming method, right? Because we know what the mark of the beast is, man. It's them implantable, what is it called? The body hacks, because they call it body hacking, right? Right? So biohacking, right? Yeah, so first it's just the regular little pass or this, or it's in your phone, or however it goes, but eventually it's going to be within your body, right? And so this is the things that the Lord has told us, and he and through this is going to happen. He have caused both small and great, right? And through this who they're going to be able to cause it, man. Cause both rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead, right? And right now the government is saying they don't have enough power to do it, so they're going to pass it off to the WHO, so they can say, hey, it ain't us, it's them, right? Kind of like what they did with the jobs. Well, we're not going to say that the job has to force this and that. But what we're going to do is, we're not going to tell them that they have to do it. But we're gonna find them if they don't, but we're not gonna tell them that they have to, or whatever, you know. So they're gonna, you know. Let's come over here. I'm saying the blue letter and get a little definition or get a little maybe understanding. Salakia, I went past.
Strong's G 4160.
Poeo, right? With the names of things made to produce, construct, form, fashion, right? And ultimately, this is what she's saying, that they're gonna give that power over to the who, right? To be the authority of, right? So all you got to do is go to the Bible. To cause, to make ready, and that, is that not what they're doing? The V passports, right? Or identity passports, or however they doing, however they want to call it, is what something to what to make ready, to prepare. That's ultimately what they're doing. They're preparing you for what? For the mark of the East, right? To produce, to bear, to shoot forth, to inquire, right? Hey, and that's what hey, pretty soon you're gonna be inquiring. You're gonna be like, hey, how can I get that? To provide a thing for oneself, right? Hey, how you gonna be able to provide for yourself? So I'm prepare this for you, so you'll be able to provide for yourself, right? Hey.
Show you a few more in a second. Now, first, the update, because last week the UN General Assembly happened and world leaders voted to pass what they're calling a political declaration to pass this pandemic preparedness. So it's not actually that they passed the pandemic treaty, because then we'd all be in it. Now, they collectively passed a political declaration to pass it. Why did they need to do this? I'm going to explain it to you in a second, but watch.
This is the singularity clock. We're as little as 3 months from midnight. I'm not getting audio.
I don't hear the sound either.
Sorry, that was me. Let me play that again.
Okay, it's short. We're going to play it again. Sorry.
I will then submit for the formal consideration of the Assembly. It is adopted.
Okay, so did that gavel scare you? It did scare me, because I've read the documents. Now, again, this doesn't mean the treaty has passed. It means that the country...
Strong's G 4160. Poeo.
Yeah, poeo. To make, constitute, appoint, one, anything, to appoint, which basically that's what they're saying. They can just do anything, can just, yep, world, what you call them, yep, we're in control, we're gonna take over your government, we're gonna say what this is that, say what you could do, what you can't do, to put one forth, to lead him out, right? Hey, see, they're gonna lead you out of the way of Yahweh Bashim Awashai, lead you astray, lead you away, right? Lead you to the way that they want you to go, to make one do something. Hey, that's what she's saying. They're gonna be in control, to make one do something to cause one to, right, to be the authorities, the authors of, to be the author of a thing to cause, to bring about, right? And they're the author of it. See, they're already voting it in before actually voting it in. It's a pre-vote for the vote, which don't make sense, right? So it's basically saying it's already happened, but it ain't happened. So we're gonna vote it in so that it's already happened, and we're gonna make it happen when it happened, because we're already voting it in, because we already know everything. We already know that it already exists, because we could see this thing so far ahead into time. But if you could do that, and if you knew, if we could, well, you can't trust you, but if that was the case, you wouldn't have a problem. You know what I'm saying? But or you would, because you could make a lot of money from it. That's the thing about being able to be the author of a thing, to cause it, to bring it about. You know what I'm saying? To act righteous. Ooh, yeah, man. Is that not the NWO or the what? The old the NWO. I mean the who? The WHO, right? NWO or WHO, which is probably the same thing, right? To act righteously. Hey, to do well. See, they're acting like hey, we care about the world. We care about what's going on with you. And we have to shut down the world because of the pandemic. And we care, so we're gonna act righteously. Right? By causing you to do these things. Wow. That's insane. See, you just gotta go to the Bible, you know. I mean, it's just the Bible, you know what I mean? Oh, wow. It says with a designation, the destination of time to pass, spend. Oh, whoa, right? Telling what you can spend, how you can spend, the time you could spend. You got these 15-minute cities, right? They're gonna cause you.
Kind of way. Now, the reason they did this is because countries have been showing hesitation to hand over their sovereignty. Debates have been raging in U.S. Congress, in Parliament, in the UK, and other places, and so they sort of shoved this in, like, we're gonna get there. We're gonna do this. Watch the head of the WHO. He calls himself Dr. Tedros, talking about this declaration.
First, I would like to start by thanking the President and all member states for endorsing the political declaration. This is a very historic day, and thank you so much indeed. We may be tempted to think that the COVID-19 pandemic is history. But history teaches us that COVID-19 will not be the last pandemic. The question we all face is whether we will be ready when the next one arrives. As leaders, we have a collective responsibility to make sure we are ready.
All right, collective, he says.
Does anyone believe that?
But this is not a collective measure. It's an autocratic measure.
Right.
It gives him and his organization of diplomats who don't even pay taxes in any given place they give him powers that he already has a lot of powers, right? So recently, an American doctor, Dr. Meryl Nass, warned about this in a EU parliamentary meeting. She's been labeled as an extremist for saying this, but we have shown you these documents, you guys, and we regularly link them to you in our newsletter so that you can read them yourself. This is not a conspiracy interpretation. Watch how she warns about this, and then I'm going to bring you more about her in a second.
We're undergoing a soft coup, and the idea is to...
And coup, if you don't know, it means a takeover. So it's a soft way to pre-take over, because they're doing a vote within a vote before actually voting for it, and then saying this thing it's not if it's going to happen, it's when it's going to happen. But we know they wrote the book in 1980 that specified right in 2000 that there were going to be this CV-19, a book that was written 40 years ago that says the exact same a virus in the book at the exact same time, but oops, we didn't know this was going to happen. This is all a mysterious, you know what I mean, coincidence, right? But it's a coup. Coup means to take over.
create a whole new set of laws and ignore the existing human rights laws and other laws under the pretext of pandemic preparedness and the biosecurity agenda. The WHO is developing through all its nations, but with the WHO directorate in the United States in charge, a pandemic treaty and amendments to the existing international health regulations that will remove the human rights protections currently embedded in the IHRs, will enforce...
Right? To remove the human rights thing, going into what it said, and to cause, right? Rich and poor freedom is going to cause you to do it, because what? You ain't going to have a choice. You're not going to have a choice. It's going to cause you to do it. They're going to have complete power, and you're going to have no what's it called? Human rights. It's going to be all thrown out the window. No civil rights. Right?
Surveillance, censorship, get rid of freedom of speech, require governments to censor and only push a single narrative. Also, we will be subject, if they can make this work, to vaccines developed in 100 days, which the organization CEPI is planning to do.
You could be subject to taking a thing that it only takes them 100 days to create, which we know that's not true. I mean, even when they did it, that they so-called said that it took them a year or 9 months to make the other one, it was already ready in a massive amount in production. You know, it wasn't like, okay, we created it, now we have to figure out how to make a mass amount to produce it to everybody. No, we already have the massive amount for production right now. But yet you don't have food. Yet the factories are burning down. Yet this is happening. This is happening. The supply chain's messed up. But you know what? We have all the, and it's gonna be delivered on time, right? Hey, amazing. You didn't know what was gonna happen, but amazing. It took you 9 months, and then you already have the vast amounts that it takes, and the exact amount of number. You know the exact amount of citizens in the United States, the exact amount of citizens in goddamn Nairobi or Russia or the exact amount, and that exact amount is what you sent. That's insane. You know what I'm saying?
And one of the people who founded CEPI was Jeremy Farrar, who is now the chief scientist at the WHO, to bring this forward. Other things that amendments do is to bind the states so they're no longer recommendations but enforceable edicts. Provide a liability shield, get rid of intellectual property rights, move
Right.
supplies from one country to another, enforce digital passports, and the Director General of WHO can demand that a pandemic or a potential pandemic exists. He can just declare it with no standards, and then countries around the world will have to obey. Also, the WHO will tell you what drugs you can and can't use in your nation once a pandemic is declared. Obviously, the budget will increase. One Health is another part of this. One Health is a concept that was created to enable the WHO, with these documents, to take over jurisdiction of everything in the world by saying that climate change, animals, plants, water systems, ecosystems are all central to health. Also embedded in this concept is a peculiar notion that humans are no longer of greater value than animals.
Well, since the mainstream media.
Yeah. So it says Revelation chapter 13 verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, right, with the charagma, the charax, the engrapho, right, being able to be able to buy and sell, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name, right, which all goes into the engrapho, right, which having that information, right, on that digital tag, right. So when they scan it, it'll have all your information, right. And you know they're right to say it's not if it's going to happen, it's when it's going to happen, because the Lord is going to allow them to basically be successful at what they're doing to a certain extent. And so it says Job chapter 5 verse 12, and he disappointeth the devices of the crafty, that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. Which it's not like he's going to stop them, because they're going to be able to perform it to a certain degree. You know what I mean? The whole world, because it just said that he's going to cause all, both small and great, free and bond, right? Talking about the whole world to receive that mark. Yeah, so I'm still right here in that Job 5 and 12. So I'm going to go and see, you know, the definition into that enterprise, right? Because that's what I was talking about, it being that he's going to be able to do it to a certain extent, right?
Strong's H, 8454.
Tushia. So wisdom, right? So we know that Esau got a certain amount of wisdom, you know, because that's what they're using to rule the world, you know. Sound knowledge, right? Which sound to do wickedness, right? Success, right? Because it's his enterprise. It's gonna have success to a certain degree, because it's gonna cause all, both small, rich and poor, free and bond. You know, talking about the world, because it says that he should cause the whole entire world to go through this. This is what they're using the World Health Organization to do, right? So it says success, sound, efficient wisdom, abiding success, sound or efficient wisdom, abiding success, right? I mean, basically the same thing. Basically saying it's going to be a success. So that enterprise, even though the Lord's going to destroy them eventually, right? It says, and he taketh the wise, right? With 13, Job 5 and 13, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness, right? Because talking about their wise, their wisdom, their knowledge, to be able to do these things, to be able to deceive the world into doing these things, and eventually the Lord is going to destroy them. But before that, He's going to have that success. And what are they doing right now? By passing the law, saying it's only a matter of time for it to happen again, but and how short a time, right? Because the last time a so-called global, it took another 100 years. But they don't plan on this thing taking another 100 years before another thing happens, right? Obviously, that's why they already pre-voting it in, like, you know what I mean? So it says, to take the wise in their own craftiness, and in their what? Counsel. That's what they're having, a counsel. That's all that was. Counsel of the forward is carried headlong, right? So ultimately, it's all gonna come to naught. But for now, we know that it's gonna be a success. It's gonna be an enterprise. It's gonna be successful to what to cause all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive that mark. All but the elect. The elect is not gonna take it. Yeah. So we come right here. Still on Job 20 and 22. Let's see what that sufficiency mean.
Strong's H 5607. First reading, Safek. Second
Safek.
reading, Safak.
Safek or Safak, right? To hand clapping, mocking, mockers, scorners. Dubious. Let's see what dubious means.
Dubious.
Dubious means to hesitate or doubting. Let's see what other things it says relating to. Morally. See? Yeah, they know that they're morally wrong. That's why the dudes, while they were passing this little bill thing to go through, they're looking around like something's gonna happen. They didn't know if the Most High wasn't gonna strike them down right then. They knew they were doing something morally wrong. It's almost like I don't know if you ever stole something yourself or seen somebody steal. It's like they know they're finna get ready to do something they ain't got no business doing. And that's what these dudes look like they were doing while they were voting that in. And this is a great time in history for us to do this. Like, yeah, dude. And you know you're morally wrong. That's why you're hesitating. That's what dubious means. Means to hesitate, to doubt. Right?
Rely.
Not to rely. Yeah, not to rely. Not to be relied upon. Suspect. Yeah, right. Suspect. Especially a dubious as some position.
Suspicious.
Yeah, they're being suspicious, see? And that's what you should be. You should be suspicious of these people. Let's go back out again, because I'm going to that wicked. It's Job 20 and 22. I'm going to the wicked, right? Which basically is you regular, the blue collar worker, right? See right here.
Strong's H 6001. A male,
right? It says a laborer, sufferer, wrenched one, laborer, man, workman, sufferer, right? Toiling, right? That's you regular blue collar workers, and eventually you're gonna be suspicious of them, right? and you're gonna, because they looking suspicious. Like the dude's voting in, and he looks suspect. He looks suspicious while they're voting it in, and then at the same time, the way everybody, it looked like an eerie situation. But they have to go on and push through, because they're the puppet masters somewhere around there, and they're watching, and they got all their gatekeepers, so they better do what needs to be done, or get taken out, right? So then this is Job 20:23, when he is about to fill his belly, right? So he's about to fulfill all his hopes, his dreams, admirations, or whatever. Hey, the Most High shall cast his fury and his wrath upon him. See, and ultimately, then the Lord is going to rise up and say, "Hey, caught you red-handed. I knew this what you were going to do. I knew this what you were doing. I had my men prophesying, telling you what you were going to do before you did it. We already knew what you were going to do." You have been found wanting in the balance, man. It's time for your judgment, right? And shall, right? Yeah. And the Most High shall cast his fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain upon him while he is eating. See, while everything is looking good, man, because it's done, it's finished. Like, what does that mean when you're eating? When you cook some food, well, I guess Esau is a little bit different, because he don't cook everything well done. I mean, even his lentils is not well done. Just to get to the point, when food finished get cooked, it's supposed to be what? Done. So he's saying, I got everything I wanted. I set up everything. I got people to get the MOTB. Everything good. Now I'm finna eat. And the Lord's finna destroy. Right in the midst of him gloating, mocking, right? Is when it's gonna be, right? That's when the Lord's gonna destroy him, right? Let's read that real quick, because that's ultimately what they like to do. All the darkness shall be hid in his secret place, right? Because that's ultimately what Esau thinks. And fire not blown shall consume him. And fire not blown shall not consume him. It shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle, right? Hey, man. So the elites are going to escape. They're going to be in their bunkers, but all the rest of you so-called lesser illuminated ones are going to be consumed, because you're left and you're part of Esau's tabernacle, and you're going to get destroyed. Like the dudes that's passing that law, looking around. Hey, man, you're going to do a lot of looking around, because people are going to be hunting for you. The wicked, right, which are really the workers, the laborers, are going to be looking for you. Yeah, and with all that, I want to give all praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakal Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well. The elders in Connecticut, the brothers out in the four winds preaching the truth for sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect. The elect, Shalom, to the Israelite foreigners who phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold. Shalom to you sisters, you Akwathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence, and a Baba Ball.